Chapter 14. The Spectacular Now Novel. In a situation like this, you have to play it cool. You can't just squeeze yourself into a place on the couch and start drooling all over the girl. So, first, I go round up some of the fancy cheese holly layout and take a seat across the room on a stool at the bar. Maybe I take a quick glance or two at Hannah, but mainly I pretend to be interested in the conversation. For the men, the talk is something like, how was the golf out in Tahoe? It was fantastic. And for the women, it's, have you checked out that new little antique shop on Havenhurst and Hurst Haven? No. How is it? It's fantastic. I swear to myself on the spot that I will never have a party like this, no matter how old I get. Is this what's supposed to pass for friendship when you get out of college? I don't see how you can hardly even call these people friends, at least not according to the definition of that word as I live in growing up. I guess it's different once you get out in the world and you don't have the same experiences every day like you do in school. But these folks don't have any inside jokes or old stories or the theories about how the universe works or anything. There is no deep connection. They barely seem to know each other. For a while I test my psychic powers by trying to wheel Hannah over to the fancy cheese table so I can start a conversation with her, but I must not have been blessed in that department. She just continues sitting there, straight as a nail, with hands folded in her lap and her lips frozen into a polite smile. Now, with the way my mind works, I don't get bored too easily. But at this point in the party, I starting to feel like if something entertaining doesn't happen pretty soon, I might just topple sideways off my bar stool and splat on the floor. Then I remember the blaze Ricky gave me this afternoon. I'm sorry. To spice things up a little bit, the upstairs bathroom, the one connected to Holly and Kevin's bedroom, seems like the perfect place to fire it up. But what happens when I get up there, right on this huge chest of drawers of theirs? I spy a tall bottle of 30 years old Maclean Scotch. 30 years old. That's Kevin for you. As much as he loves to impress people with swank brand names, he's not about to share his $300 bottle of scotch at a nothing little party like this. His boss isn't even here. Me, I never was much of a scotch fan, but my big 7-Up is starting to taste a little thin. And besides, how many chances am I going to get to slug down something like this? I read an article online about a 60 years old bottle of Maclean going for $38,000. And so what if it's not open yet? It's not like I'm going to drink half the bottle or something. But I would prefer to open it somehow, so that Kevin won't be able to tell. That's going to be a problem. Even if I crack the seal as carefully as possible, I'll have a hard time replacing it. I inspect it from every angle, chip at it a little with my thumbnail, and twist back and forth, but not like. Finally, I decide to go ahead and light up my smoke, thinking maybe a little bit might help me figure something out. After taking a couple of drags and holding them in nice and deep, each time my mind starts to expand. And sure enough, an idea hits me. I could break the neck of the bottle against the nightstand and start chugging away, gulping down liquor and glass both. And then when I throw up, I come out in perfect little airline bottle of scotch. This is why I don't smoke pot as much as Ricky. My imagination is way too weird to handle more than a puff or two. Anyway, the mental picture cracked me up, and I can hardly stifle my giggle when another picture pops into my head. Kevin stalking into the room and me waving the shattered bottle at him like a bar fighter in some old movie. I can't help but laugh out loud at that one. Then the stairway cracks. Somebody is coming, probably Kevin, worried about me getting into his $300 bottle of scotch. Talk about paranoid. You think he trusts his wife's own brother. Sutter, it's Kevin. Alright. Hey, are you up here? Why don't you come down and chat with Hannah for a while? He's heading my way. At the time being all high on everything, I figured the natural thing to do is duck into the closet until he passes by. Anyone would do the same thing, I tell myself, standing in there with all the suits and sport coats. I can see him through the crack between the sliding door and the door jamb, searching for me like I'm some kind of long-time cat burglar, and he just knows I must be up to my old tricks again. He looks at the chest of drawers. Shit. I think, why didn't I put the scotch bottle back before running for cover? Sutter, he calls looking around. Did I mention that his hair looks like a taupe? It's not a taupe, but it sure looks like one. He starts toward the bathroom. Have you seen my bottle of McLean? I have to shake my head over that. Does he really think I'm in here burglarizing? I can't spell it. Burglarizing his scotch. I have a good mind to sneak downstairs, slip out the back door, and never come back to their fucking house again. There is one problem with that. The blaze Rookie gave me is still burning between my fingers, and what happens? It gets a little too close to the dry cleaner plastic on one of Kevin's $1,000 suits, and the whole thing bursts into flame right next to me. It's just like a ball of fire out of one of the wars or something. There is nothing for me to do but crash out of the closet and roll around on the carpet in case I'm on fire. That's what they tell you to do in grade school fire drills. Now, if you think Kevin cares whatever I'm burning up, then you have no idea what he's like. No, all he can think about is putting out the fire on his precious suit by beating it with a pillow. God damn, that's Kevin for you. More worried about a pile of stitch together clothes than a live human being. It's only really sorry, the one suit that's altogether ruined. The others will probably smell a little funny, but a trip to the cleaner will fix that easy enough. He throws a complete fit all over me. And of course, when Holly comes in, she takes his side too. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. The way he loses his temper, and then he crying her head off like we're in some kind of cable movie on the Woman's Channel. The whole episode's uglier than the time my mom and Gitch overreact about that dumb truck thing when I snuck their car over without a license. Son, why don't you have to act like that, holy billows? Why can't you be like normal people? Why don't you wake up? So much for the polite dinner party and all their high class etiquette bullshit. Look, I said, did it ever cross either one of your... Sorry, I can't concentrate. Look, I said, did it ever cross either one of your minds that I came an inch away from burning to a crisp? I mean, I was almost a marshmallow in the middle of a tailor-made s'more. And whose fault is that? Say holy. Mascara tears tracking down her cheeks. Is that my bottle of Maclean you've got in your hand? Asked Kevin. Yeah, I say, handing it over. Don't worry. I didn't open it. I was just looking at it. He and Ollie started on me again, but I'm just like, hey, I'm sorry. That's all I can say. It was an accident. Why don't I just leave so you don't have to waste your lung power on having to bawl me out for the rest of the evening? On that, I'm out of there with them still jabbering behind me downstairs. Everyone in the other room cranes their necks to catch a look at me passing by. For a second I stop and stare at Hannah's, trying to telepathically persuade her to leave with me. But she just gazes back, horrified, like I'm the Wolfman or Leatherface or somebody. Good night, everyone, I said, tossing a jaunty salute Hannah's way. Due to unforeseen circumstances, it is time for me to depart and get drunk off my ass. Finished.